What is going on, guys? MMA Island team. We got the fight picks, and we are back with UFC 254. And this fight, we are talking about Kenney with the quick turnaround, pretty quick turnaround, considering he went the distance with Haley Alatang. But we got Kenney taking on Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood coming off of his win of John Castaneda. I'm going to start off by talking about this fight here. And first thing I'm going to mention is talking about Kenney, man. What a clinic he put on Haley Alatang. Man, picking Kenney to win that fight, man, put a clinic on him. I haven't seen body work like that in a very, very long time. Like you can see people kind of go into the body. Two times in recent history that I can talk about is Katlyn Chookagian and Jessica Andrade. What a fight that was! A body shot where Katlyn Chookagian totally turned her back. Crazy. And then the other fight, Jan Blachowicz, Dom Reyes. I've never seen a body shot with that sort of damage. So the body shots are pretty, they're looking good in the recent few months at least. And Kenney did an amazing job of showing how important it is to go to that body, totally dismantling Haley Alatang. Haley Alatang showed a chin, definitely, because he hit him some shots to the chin as well. But let's switch it over to Nathaniel Wood here. So I picked Nathaniel Wood to lose to John Castaneda. Wasn't the craziest amount of confidence just because I know how well-rounded Nathaniel Wood is. Very, very underrated on the ground. Very, very good standing up as well. I just thought John Castaneda was going to be one step ahead because they're both very, very well-rounded fighters. And it kind of was toe-to-toe for a little bit, and then until Nathaniel Wood just started getting off more shots and John Castaneda started holding back. So that's no holding, taking credit away from Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood looked absolutely great in that fight. And one thing that kind of happens with me, and it's kind of the case with Kenney, is I picked Luis Smolka to beat Kenney because I didn't know too much about Kenney at the time. And Luis Smolka gets submitted via guillotine in the first round. So going into the Haley Alatang fight with Kenney, I was kind of like, okay, definitely underestimated this guy. So let's look into Kenney a little bit more. And this guy's very, very, very well-rounded. And then passing it on Nathaniel Wood, same thing. John Castaneda, I picked against him. I picked against Nathaniel Wood, picking John Castaneda. Another thing where I think I underestimated the other fighter. So I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I will be picking Nathaniel Wood for this one. Couple reasons why. I just think that Nathaniel Wood is probably one step ahead in the striking. I don't see Nathaniel Wood being Haley Alatang-like. I don't see him being Kenney being able to rack off body shots like crazy. And even if, and this is one thing I was kind of shocked about in the Haley Alatang fight, I thought Alatang would have been taking him down, considering that he was getting beat up on the feet. And I think he attempted like one takedown the entire fight. So I don't see that being the case with Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood starts getting blasted. Nathaniel Wood's going to take you to the ground. He's going to try to submit you. And Nathaniel Wood has only ever been submitted or finished in his career, never went the distance and lost. So, and Kenney his decisions primarily come via decision. So I just value Nathaniel Wood's well-roundedness a little bit better. Kenney acknowledged, I saw a quote, Kenney acknowledged that Nathaniel Wood is well-rounded, but called it a basic well-rounded. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I think he's just mentioning how he's good in both areas, but not exceptional in both areas. And that to me kind of sounds like he's underestimating his style a little bit. But so I'm going to be going with Nathaniel Wood. Like, as I mentioned, man, I just think that he's going to have the advantage in the striking game and in the ground game as well. And if it kind of goes towards Kenney's style, and if Kenney starts having the advantage on the feet or on the ground, I see Nathaniel Wood being able to swap it over and kind of pick where the fight goes, because that's exactly what I've seen Nathaniel Wood do for the most part of the fights that I've watched him fight. So got to go with Nathaniel Wood here. I think another thing to talk about is the quick turnaround for Haley Alatang, going the distance. And man, Kenney took a decent amount of damage in that fight too. Alatang obviously got terribly beat up, but Kenney did take some shots. So not too crazy of a factor to look into, but I just think Nathaniel Wood going in there with a more time to prepare and not so much focus on a fight that's just happening in the same month. So I'm going with Nathaniel Wood. I just think that, as I mentioned, he's going to have the advantages here, but I will pass it on to Zach.
So this fight is maybe one of the most mirror matchups I have ever seen. And let me just say, this is just a beautiful piece of matchmaking. The matchmakers got this one right. And what I was saying about a mirror match is These two are nearly identical. You look at their stats, pretty much the same. Their styles, pretty much the same. And they're like where they are strong, pretty much the same. It is almost incredible. And that makes this fight insanely hard to call. It is probably the hardest one to predict. And it is one of the ones I'm looking forward to most. Now, these guys are both coming off career-making performances. Casey Kenney beating just destroying Haile Alateng. But if you look at Haile Alateng's stat line, you should have known that that was coming. Haile Alateng gets outstruck by everyone. And Casey Kenney, who is known for volume striking, he did it again. He did what everyone does to Haile Alateng. Now, Nathaniel Wood coming off his win over John Castaneda, that was also an incredibly impressive performance. And he looked just amazing everywhere that the fight went. And I don't know. I think Casey Kenney is going to try and use his length. That's what Casey Kenney doesn't really like to get in close. And we saw that against Haile Alateng. His body shots were usually from afar, not from in close. And he also likes to use his solid kicks as well. But Nathaniel Wood, he likes to rush forward. He likes to get in your face and throw a lot of shots. And we haven't seen Casey Kenney get backed up all that much, and especially not by a striker with the caliber of Nathaniel Wood. And I think a factor that not a lot of people are talking about is how much a fighter can learn from a loss. And the loss to John Dodson, I truly believe, taught Nathaniel Wood a lot of things, because we saw his blitzes against John Dodson. They were messy. They were uncoordinated. He left his chin up in the air, and that's what got him finished. But then you look up against John Castaneda, he fixed a lot of the mistakes he made against John Dodson. And that is exactly what you want to see from a fighter with the prospect level and the potential of Nathaniel Wood. Now, where I'm most excited to see this fight go is the ground, because they are both known to be very solid practitioners. Casey Kenney has some amazing scrambles. Nathaniel Wood has a nasty sub game. But who do I think will have the advantage on the ground? I honestly think I will give the ground advantage to Nathaniel Wood as well, just like Michael did. And I also agree with the point that you said that Nathaniel Wood can pretty much switch the fight to wherever he wants to go. I don't think that's an advantage that Casey Kenney has, because they have a 30% gap in takedown defense. Now, to be fair, a lot of that goes from a Merab Dvalishvili fight. And if you fight Merab Dvalishvili, your takedown defense is going to get just destroyed. And that's what happens. But it's still something to look at. Nathaniel Wood with an exceptional 83% takedown defense. Is he going to get taken down? No, absolutely not. He is not going to be taken down. Can he take down Casey Kenney? Yes, he absolutely can. And Nathaniel Wood's top pressure, I believe, is stronger than the bottom game of Casey Kenney. And that's why I'm going to give this fight as well to Nathaniel Wood. I think Casey Kenney can absolutely win. This is probably my lowest confidence pick on the card, just because of how even these guys are. But at the end of the day, I'm going with Wood.
Yeah, not the craziest amount of confidence from my side either, just because we know how good Casey Kenney has looked. That was pretty well, aside from when I was talking about Haile Alateng, and we mentioned just the style was not in favor of Alateng in that fight. And just talking about Casey Kenney, man, he looked on fire. That's why I picked him in this fight. But Nathaniel Wood has been looking very good since the Dodson fight. Obviously, only one fight, but I just think that, as you mentioned, you learn a lot from those fights. So if Nathaniel Wood can avoid the guillotine of Casey Kenney and not get caught in a submission, I'm pretty confident he can win the fight. So we got a unanimous decision again. So make sure you guys are letting us know who you guys got. If you guys got Casey Kenney, make sure you guys are letting us know in the comments and prove us wrong. Make sure you guys are also showing your support on the videos, liking the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the other Fight Pick videos.